All right, I'm back with more of Restart. Chapter 8 picks up with Chase, Chase Ambrose. We left off, it was Shoshana's chapter, and she was texting back with her brother about Chase and everything that's going on in school. The Hiawassee Middle School Hurricanes play a preseason scrimmage against East Norwich on Saturday. I make it a point to be there, not as a player, but as a member of the video club. Miss DeLeo put me in charge of athletics for the video yearbook, so the game is a good place to start as any. As I climb the bleachers, the flip cam is an awkward weight in my hand. I don't feel like a video club kid. Not that I can recall being any kind of kid. This is supposed to be the site of my greatest glories. Yet, I've lost all that. The sight of the players on the field doesn't bring back a rush of gridiron memories. I guess I always pictured vast crowds cheering my name, but there isn't much turnout for a scrimmage. Maybe a couple of dozen kids and a handful of other people scattered around the stands. I raise the camera and shoot a couple of plays. Brendan said that I was natural at filming how to clean your tricycle. That was easy, though. That stunt at the car wash was the craziest, funniest, most bizarre thing I had ever seen. I honestly couldn't look away, and since I was watching through the camera viewfinder, I captured the insanity from start to finish. It would be wrong to say I had the time of my life, since I can't speak for my life before the accident. But it was more than enough for Brendan to convince me that the video club was the place for me. A foghorn voice drowns out the PA announcement broadcasting over the loudspeaker. Excuse me. Champ, over here! It's my dad, sitting in the fourth row with Helene. I never miss a game, he exclaims, assuring me that he was here on the 50-yard line week in and week out, all through the 28-year gap between his state championship and my state championship. Helene's turning into a real fan, too. My half-sister has set up an impressive array of dollhouse furniture on the metal bleachers and is playing with a couple of Barbies. As far as I've seen, she hasn't looked in the direction of the field once. For such a big Hurricanes fan, Dad sure doesn't seem to have any fun watching them play. The longer we sit, the darker his mood gets, blackening and lowering until it hangs over him like a line of thunderheads. Did you see that? He complains. The left guard is supposed to cut block on the play. Otherwise, there's no hole for the running back. Or, our quarterback doesn't see the field. He had a man wide open in the end zone. Or, what kind of tackling is that? Did you used to tackle like that? I never tackled like that. I don't know, I tell him honestly. I don't remember anything about playing football. Zooming in tight on the huddle. So I have no idea how I used to tackle. Yeah, well, it was a lot better than that, he snorts. He used to wrap up your man and bring him down properly. By this time, the Hurricanes are on the wrong end of a 24-7 score. It's funny, I've forgotten everything about my own football career, but I know the game itself. When I shoot footage of the action on the field, I get what the players are doing, or at least what they're trying to do. Either East Norwich is all universe, or this year's Hiawassee's Hurricanes aren't a team of destiny. I have no idea how good I am, but it's hard to believe that one person could make up the difference between these stumblebums and last year's state champions. We're out of sync, I observe. The O-line is opening up some good holes, but the backs are never in the right places to run through them. Exactly! Dad slaps me too hard on my bad shoulder. That's what I always say. You've got talent. We do, when you're on the field anyway. All we need is the timing. I'm sure it isn't the first time my father and I ever agreed on something, but it's the first time that I actually remember. That's another thing amnesia made you forget. How much I like his approval. Helene has dismantled her Barbie condo on the bleachers and is bored out of her mind. Daddy, can we leave? Not yet, honey. Dad doesn't even glance away from the field. It's still third quarter. I point the flip cam at her. Why don't you set up the furniture again? We can make a movie about your dolls. She curls her lip at me. They're Barbies. Barbie can be a movie star, I offer. As she places the plastic chairs and the tables with great care, quarterback Joey Petronas throws in an interception at the East Norwich. That East Norwich runs back for yet another touchdown. That does it for Dad. He goes off on a diatribe against the players, the coaches, even the guys who make the chalk lines on the field. I'm not immune either. He finishes with, "What are you doing with that camera anyway? You should be in this game, not taking pictures of it. I know you don't remember how good you are, but I promise you, you're that good." I start to tell them that I'm only here to cover the team for the video yearbook, but something makes me swallow the words before they hit air. I understand on a gut level that isn't what Dad wants to hear. Instead, I find myself saying, I want to get back on the field. As soon as the doctor gives me the okay, you'll see. I'll be out there. Dad nods, pleased. That's who we are, champ. We're Ambrose men. We're the doers. Other people take pictures of us. Helene acts out entire storylines with her Barbies. I capture it on video, all the while keeping up a running game commentary with Dad, who doesn't seem to be a Barbie guy. Surprise, surprise. When I play my footage back to Helene in the tiny screen, she squeals with delight. And there, sitting on the bleachers in front of a bad football game, it happens. I remember. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my ability to remember. I remember everything that's happened since I woke up in the hospital. But before the accident, except for that weird image of the girl in blue, I don't remember anything. Until now. It's a flashback of Helene. She's probably what triggered it, because in my memory, she's squealing just like she is now. Wait, no. It isn't a happy sound. Her cheeks are red, her face is twisted, and she's about to cry. In the memory, I'm holding a stuffed teddy, her favorite. I remember that too. Actually, I've got the bear in my left hand and its head in my right hand. I ripped the head off a 4-year-old's teddy bear. Definitely not the memory I'd been hoping for, but still. I remembered something, I exclaim out loud. Oh yeah? What? Dad actually turns his attention from the game. Something from before the accident. See? He's triumphant. I told you there's nothing wrong with you. You'll be back in commission in no time. And man, do we ever need you out there. On the field, our halfback takes a handoff and is buried under a pile of East Norwich jerseys. Dad's looking away, so he misses it. A tiny gap in the weak side of the defensive line. Our guy could have hit that. I would have hit that. A stutter step to the left, that's what I would have done. Juke got the linebacker and gone. My shoulders shimmy as I make the imaginary cuts in my head. I see it now. I was a player. Correction, I am a player. And as I picture it, the image of the headless teddy bear starts to fade. After all, it's just a stuffed toy. Helene is perfectly happy now. No harm, no foul. I bet she's forgotten it ever happened. Okay? So this is interesting. Do you think that Helene would have forgotten this? Based on how she reacted when she saw him? right after the accident when she was like, get away from me kind of a thing. I doubt she's going to forget that he ripped the head off of her favorite teddy bear. This is the kind of thing that sticks with you. But notice how he's having some memories and he's feeling the electricity of the game, and that's sort of sparking something inside of him. And so a little bit of these old tendencies start to come back, right? Oh, I'm sure Helene's fine. Yeah, I'm a player. Yeah, I would have done that. So, some of the old chase is starting to creep back. Small, but starting. Chapter 9, Chase Ambrose still. After the scrimmage, I head down to the locker room to get some player interviews. I arrive just in time to see Aaron slamming the heavy metal door in Hugo's face. He staggers backwards straight into me and lets out a whoop of shock. Take it easy, Hugo, I tell him. It's just me. Hi, Chase, he manages, his voice faltering. I'm trying to shoot some footage of the team. He hefts his own flip cam. I thought Mr. Leo put me onto that, I tell him. Oh, sure, totally, he says quickly. I was just afraid you might, forget. What do you mean, forget? I ask, a little annoyed. He retreats a step, blushing and looking plenty worried. No offense, he stammers. Before I can reply, the door opens, and there's Bear. I told you it was his voice, he shouts. He hauls me inside, shutting Hugo out again. Hugo's with me, I protest. Ha, good one, Bear laughs. Seriously, we're covering the Hurricanes. We're covering the Hurricanes for the video yearbook. So Hugo gets in with me. He's grateful, but it doesn't make him very happy. He acts like he's tiptoeing around a minefield. I get some high fives, but the team's not in the best spirits. After all, they just got steamrolled. And when it sinks in that I'm there as a reporter and not to give them the good news that I've been cleared to play, they can't hide their disappointment. Well, I can't see anything wrong with you, Joey complains. You're not even in a sling anymore. I get it. Joey laid an egg at quarterback today. A good running game would take a lot of pressure off of him. It's the concussion, I try to explain. The doctor wants me to be really, really careful. Landon Rubio, the kid with the giant neck I saw on the first day, glances dubiously from Hugo to me. So you have to miss a few games. But what gives with him? Gesturing to Hugo. Hugo attempts to point his camera and is beaten back by a hail of dirty sweat socks. I bristle. The video yearbook is doing a segment on every sports team, including golf and badminton. So when you're not in it, don't come crying to us. Yearbook, Joey echoes. Bad enough you're off the team. Now you're on the yearbook staff? Video yearbook, Hugo amends. A snapping towel nearly takes his ear off. Guys, chill out. Aaron steps between the other players and Hugo and me. It isn't our boy's fault. His doctor's a wuss. Cut him some slack. That doesn't explain why he's running around with the video losers, Landon challenges. He's not running around with anybody, Aaron explains reasonably. He's covering the Hurricanes, man, making sure we look good in the yearbook thing. That's how he's helping the team while he's on the sidelines. Yeah, Rubio, snorts Bear. If I had a face like yours, I'd appreciate anyone who could make me look good, so shut up. I jump in as a peacemaker. Believe me, guys, I'll be back as soon as I get the word from the doctor. This makes the team happy. I can tell. Hugo shoots me a strange look, but how can I expect him to understand? He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who plays sports, except maybe in video games. Joey chucks a ball my way. I watch, almost as a spectator, as my hands reach out and snatch it from the air. Reaction time? Okay. It feels good, like I'm back to an old to an old self-amnesia couldn't quite rob me of. We do a few interviews. The guys are chatty with me, hamming it up for the camera like I'm running a selfie service. Hugo gets mostly one-word answers. When I notice he mumbles that we can't fix it in edit, when I notice he mumbles that we can't fix it in editing, I don't see how any amount of editing can fix. Question: what are your thoughts for the upcoming season? Answer: good. Then again, I'm just the newbie nobody even trusts to show up for my first video club assignment. When we're done, Hugo can't get out of there fast enough. This is hostile territory for him. But me? I don't know. I feel like I'm home. Well, I'd love to talk your ear off about my road to the NFL glory, Aaron drawls. But Bear and I have to go water some old people. Wait, I'm going with you, I tell him. They stare at me like I've just announced that I'm flying to Jupiter. Dude, you don't have to go, Aaron reminds me. They cut you loose because of you got hurt. It'll be fun. That falls flat, so I try again. We're teammates, right? You go, I go. Bear's eyes narrow. Exactly how much do you remember about the Graybeard Motel? Nothing, I reply honestly. He grins. If you want me to go there when you don't have to, you didn't just scramble. Sorry, he grins. If you want to go there when you don't have to, you didn't just scramble your brains. You knocked them out completely. Come on, how bad can it be? I'm semi-joking, but those two are so stone-faced that I start to wonder. Yikes, what is this place, Frankenstein's lab? Your call, Aaron says. It'll be good to have you back with us, even if you are nuts. The Portland Street, so remember they got punished, so they had to do community service at a nursing home. The Portland Street Assisted Living Residence is about a 10-minute walk from school. I know I was on community service here before, but the place is brand new to me. It's a boring 3-story building with a wide circular driveway and a broad landscape front dotted with benches and outdoor picnic tables. There are several elderly people outside enjoying the warm weather. A couple of them wave and call out greetings to us, and I wave back. Aaron and Bear just ignore them. As the main door slides open in front of us, Bear mumbles, "Hold your breath." It's an odd combination of two smells that don't mix: fresh flowers and hospital-like antiseptic. Not great, but you get used to it in a hurry. We report to Nurse Duncan, who's the head nurse on duty. She's surprised to see me. I got better, I tell her, so I figured I should finish off my community service. The court told you to do that? She asks dubiously. I shake my head. I came up with it on my own. We don't believe it either, Aaron jokes with mock sincerity. That's very noble, Nurse Duncan says. Well, I've got you boys on the snack cart today. It doesn't normally take 3, but we'll give Chase a soft job on his first day back. We get a rolling cart laden with juice boxes, cookies, crackers, and free newspapers. By the time we get off the elevator on the 3rd floor, Aaron and Bear have helped themselves to half the merchandise. Believe me, they have more Oreos than these mummies could ever gum down, Aaron says when I look disapproving at him. And I assure you, oh perfect one, you've sampled plenty of cookies off of this cart. Right? So Chase is giving them like a disapproving look, and they're saying, you've done the same thing, before the accident. I reach back for a snack jacking memory, but come up empty. I'll have to take his word for it. Bear tears open a bag and dumps a small pile of ginger snaps in my hand. I take a tiny bite, glaring at my partners in crime, who are now chowing down on a blizzard of wrappers and crumbs. We played a football game this morning, Bear reminds me. You work up an appetite. Not everyone's too delicate like you. I guess I'm not too delicate to bend over and pick up your garbage, I snap back. I might be getting the hang of being friends with these two. We go door to door offering the residents snacks and papers. When I was in the hospital, all the staff and volunteers who came into my room were really nice and friendly. Well, Aaron and Bear are the opposite of that. Aaron's the polite one. He flings the door open and barks, "Snack cart!" This is followed by, "What do you want?" from Bear. They call all the men Dumbledore and all the women Dumbledora, and respond to any questions with a combination of shrugs and grunts. When I can't stand it anymore, I ask what I can do for everybody, and usually end up adjusting bed heights, searching for lost TV remotes, and occasionally calling nurses for them. "You're slowing us down, man," Aaron complains. "At this rate, we'll never blow this Geritol stand." Geritol is like I think it's a vitamin supplement for older people. "Quiet," I hiss. "They'll hear you." "You're joking, right?" Bear sneers. "Most of these old fossils can't remember to change the batteries in their hearing aids. The last thing any of them heard was the A-bomb test and Yucca Flat." "They're not as deaf as you think," I shoot back. The lady in 212 definitely heard it when you ripped one in her living room." Aaron laughs. "Now that's the Chase we know and love." Those jokes are funny when it's the three of us, not so much when the old people are around. Most of them are pretty frail. They definitely deserve more respect than they're getting from us. Maybe Aaron and Bear ran out of patience because they've got no choice about community service, and I'm here on purpose. Maybe I was out of patience too before my amnesia made me forget it. But I find the residents kind of interesting. They remember stuff in real life that you can only read about in history books. There's a lady in 326 whose father was one of the firemen on the scene of the Hindenburg disaster. The guy in 318 was a communications expert at Houston Mission Control when Neil Armstrong first set foot on the moon. In room 209 lives a guy who's totally blind, yet tells the most vivid stories of growing up 2 doors down from Baseball Hall of Famer Joe DiMaggio. The rule is that if someone is not in or sleeping, we leave a juice box and a packet of cookies on the table. The man in 121 is snoring enthusiastically in an easy chair when I notice the black and white photo on his nightstand. It's a picture of a young soldier bowing his head to receive a military decoration from an important-looking man with round, steel-rimmed spectacles. "Is that President Truman?" I whisper. Aaron looks bored. "Who cares? Let's get out of here. If this Dumbledore wakes up, he'll talk your ear off." But I'm hooked. The only medal you get straight from the president is the Medal of Honor. This guy's a hero. "Big deal," Bear scoffs. "Back in the day, there were so many wars, they handed out medals like Hershey's Kisses." I sighed and started to follow them to the door. I wonder what he did. They don't give out Medal of Honor for just any old thing. Probably slew a triceratops or something, Aaron suggests with a shrug. "Come on, we're almost done." "It was a pterodactyl," comes a sarcastic voice from behind us. We wheel around. He's sitting up now, an elderly man, a little bent at the shoulders with a shock of white hair. "And I slew it with my stone knife." I step forward. "Mister, is that you in the picture?" "That's you in the picture, right?" "No, it's Harry Truman. Can't you see I'm busy? It takes me a half an hour to get out of bed and twice that to haul myself across the room with that stupid walker." He's obviously not busy. He just wants to be left alone. Maybe he doesn't like us very much. Apparently, not all the residents are hard of hearing. Aaron and Bear are already slouching out of the room. Sorry, I mumble, following them into the hall. You've got a lot to learn, Ambrose, Aaron tells me. Get one of those Dumbledores talking about his war days, and you'll be here till you're as old as he is. I have to admit, it's probably good advice. All right, I say, let's just finish. We work our way down the hall to the last room on the floor. Almost done, Aaron groans. Just Cloud 10 and we can get out of here. Cloud 10? I echo. You're going to love this one, Bear assures me. You know Cloud 9? Well, this O-bag's at least one cloud up from that. Half the time she's convinced this is some fancy hotel and we're room service. I see their point, but I feel kind of bad for Mrs. Swanson, who bustles around her living room in a frilly pink dressing gown dotted with sequined flowers. She's obviously losing touch with reality, and there's nothing hilarious about that. At first, she thinks we've come for a visit, and she asks us to move the furniture into what she calls a conversation grouping. Aaron and Bear ignore her, but what harm will it do, really? So I shuffle a few chairs, no big deal. My friends are mugging at me behind her back the whole time, trying to make me laugh. They might be the smart ones. By the time I'm finished sweating and breathing hard, Mrs. Swanson is looking at me like she's too polite to ask who I am and why I'm rearranging her apartment. Aaron and Bear are snickering out loud. We drop off her cookies and juice and head for the door, but she comes bustling after us, waving her pocketbook. She digs around, comes up with a $20 bill and offers it to me. Don't leave without your tip, she says. I take a step back. Oh, no, I couldn't accept. Before I can manage another word, Bear's meaty hand snatches the money away. Enjoy your stay, he tells Mrs. Swanson with a big phony smile, and he's out the door like a shot, Aaron hot on his wheels. I catch up with him in the hall. You can't take that money. That's like stealing. No, it's not, Bear replies. She gave it to me. Actually, she gave it to you, but you were too dumb to take it. Yeah, but I fumble for the right words. You know as well as I do the lady's not all there in the head. That's discrimination, he says righteously. I'm not biased against dizzy old bats who haven't got a clue what the deal is. They can give me money just like everybody else. You don't know her. She would have gotten really upset if you hadn't taken it. She wants to believe what she believes. We're not here for kicks, you know, I insist. We got sent here by a judge. If we get caught accepting money from the residents, we could get a lot more than community service. Bear rounds on me in genuine amazement. You don't even have to be here, man. You made us bring you. I'm stubborn. Give the money back. Aaron tries to be reasonable. The museum pieces in this dump, they'd forget their own saggy butts if they weren't attached. By the time the door closed behind us, I guaranteed Cloud 10 forgot we were even there. If we go to her and try to straighten this out, it'll be like showing her how crazy she is. You want to be responsible for that? I know he's snowing me, but he's also kind of right. I doubt we could explain to Mrs. Swanson that she just tipped the community service guys. But even if we could, she'd be embarrassed and upset and probably more confused than before. Well, we should give the money to charity, I mumble. Done, Bear agrees. It's going to my favorite charity, the Take a Bear to Lunch Fund. Who's up for some pizza? We all laugh, but I'm laughing a lot less than those two. The whole thing leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and pizza is the last thing I'm thinking of. We stop to see Nurse Duncan so Aaron and Bear can get their timesheet signed. I'm technically not in community service anymore, so there's no timesheet for me. Then we're heading for the pizza place like nothing ever happened. I keep looking at Bear, expecting to see the 20 glowing orange and burning through the pocket of his jeans. I can't explain it, but the more they goof around, tripping and shoving each other, the less appetite I have for lunch. You okay, Ambrose? Aaron tosses at me in concern. You don't look so hot. I'll catch up with you guys later. I pound back in the direction of Portland Street. I hang a left and sprint up to the assisted living residence, then dash in the sliding doors, straight to room 100. I pull a fistful of crumpled bills from my pocket and fish out a 20. Erin's right. I'd never be able to explain to Mrs. Swanson why I'm giving her money for what she could only see as no reason. No, my plan is simpler than that. I'll slip it right under her door. When she notices it, she'll just assume she dropped it. As I squat down and pass the bill through the gap between the door and the carpet, it occurs to me that if anybody sees me, it'll look like I'm the one doing something sleazy, not the one making it right. Luck is with me, though. I'm able to return the 20 unobserved. No, not return, I remind myself. I'm up $20 in this deal. I feel a little resentful when I picture Erin and Bear feasting on pizza that I'm essentially paying for. But it's a small price tag for being able to sleep at night. As I make my way out again, I pause in front of room 121, the Medal of Honor guy's room. I squint at the small plaque on the wall. Mr. Julius Solway. The doors open a crack, and I catch a glimpse of Mr. Solway struggling across the room on his walker. Suddenly, baleful eyes glaring at me through the opening. You're back? Mr. Solway's raspy voice growls from inside. What do you want now? My instinct is to flee, but curiosity gets the better of me. Which war was it? I asked the old man. You know, where you won the medal? The Trojan War, he barks. Remember? Achilles? I was the one who got him right in the heel. It stings, but I say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. And I start away. Korea, he calls after my retreating back. 1952. I turn. Well, it's an honor to meet you, Mr. Solway. You must have done something really heroic. Everyone did, he replies gruffly. A lot of brave men are still buried there. They're the heroes. I'm just the one they picked to hang a bauble on. I can't help asking. What did you do? To earn the medal, I mean? I can still only see one eye, but it's impossible to miss the flash of impatience. I stood on my head and I spit nickels. Listen, smart guy, when you get to be my age, you don't always remember details of every single event in your life. But I don't expect a young punk like you to understand that. He closes the door. Old people are supposed to have wisdom, but Mr. Solway is definitely wrong about me. I've already forgotten more than he'll ever know. So, we're getting to know more about Chase. I was thinking about Peter from The Magician's Elephant, sort of the curiosity of Peter, the questioning, right? The politeness of Peter, or the politeness of Rob, or even the boy, Elmer. How sweet Elmer was in Beverly Right Here, with the old man in the store, like the art books. I forget his Mr. Longhorse something. Anyway, so Chase is, he's intrigued by Mr. Solway, and he respects the fact that he has a Medal of Honor, and he just wanted to know more about it. But Mr. Solway wasn't having it. He's a grumpy old man, and maybe he has reason to be. But we'll find out. We'll find out more soon. I hope Chase actually goes back to that nursing home, so we get to see more and know more about these people. So that's it for today. Those are 2 chapters. I will. Oh, sorry, Soph. I woke up Sophie. Hey, Soph. Hey, Soph. Oh, she's sad. All right, I will see you soon. Okay, bye.